This is College Board SAT practice test number 1. SAT practice test number 1 by College Board. Alright, here we go. Section 3. Number 1. If x minus 1 over 3 is k, and k is 3, cut. So put that 3 over here. What is the value of x? So x minus 1 over 3 is 3. Multiply by 3 on both sides. So cancel that 3's out. X minus 1 is equal to 9. Go ahead and add 1 on both sides. And boom, x is equal to 10. What is the value of x? So 10 it is. Number 2. What is the sum of this? Okay, so here we go. 7 plus negative 8. That's negative 1, which get rid of these two. And next, 3i plus 9i. That must be 12i. There it is. Number 3. On Saturday afternoon, Armin sent M text messages each out for 5 hours. Cut. Armin sent M text messages for 5 hours. So I should see something like 5M in the answer choices. That's what I see in C. Circle it. Just move on. It's cool. Don't read the rest. You don't need to. Next, number 4. Kathy is a repair technician for a phone company. Who cares? Get rid of it. Each week she receives a batch of phones that need repairs. Who cares? Get rid of it. The number of phones that she has left to fix at the end of each day can be estimated within the equation. This, the hell, looks like a linear equation. How so? Because that very much resembles this, except if I kind of play around with it, well, that's like P is equal to negative 23D plus 108, I guess. I just kind of flipped the order. But P is the number of phones left, and D is the number of days she has worked that week. What is the meaning of the 108? And if you guys are already aware, 108 is the y-intercept, aka y-intercept, when x is equal to 0, which in this case, we're going to call this p-intercept, aka D is 0. What does that mean? Well, basically, D is the number of days, which means ain't no day has passed, but still she's got 108 phones to fix. So what should that mean? I don't know. 108 days? Probably not. 108 per hour? Probably not. 108 per day? Probably not. But ain't no day has passed yet, but she got 108 phones to fix. That's probably what it is. The very definition of y-intercept. Moving on, number 5. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? When you guys do this, just do one thing at a time. Here we go. X squared y minus negative x squared y. So x squared y minus negative x squared y. That basically becomes a plus. So that must be 2x squared y. Get rid of this 2. A and B. Next, between C and D, once again, I'm just going to do only one thing. So let me do the y squared this time. So negative 3y squared minus negative 3y squared. So negative 3y squared minus negative 3y squared. Same thing. It becomes a plus. So when you add, they just cancel. So I better not see anything y squared. The hell's that doing then? Get this out of the way. C it is. Moving on. Next. Number 6. A pediatrician uses the model above to estimate the height of a boy in inches in terms of the boy's age, 8 years in between, blah, whatever, who cares? Okay, that once again very much resembles the linear equation. It's basically the same thing. So based on the model, what is the estimated increase? Stop reading right here. What is the estimated increase? Just think about it. What tells you the estimated increase in linear equation? Is this guy the slope? So slope is what tells you the increase or decrease. So if they're talking about increase or decrease, basically they're just asking about the slope. What's the slope in this case? It's 3. So answer just 3. Move on. Next. Number 7. Blah, 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 blah. Don't read this. How? Wait, some people might go, dude, like, don't I need to know what that M, N, or whatever all the it is? No, you don't need to, because check this out. Look at the equation up here. That's just M's equal to something. Look at the answer choices. They're just all P's equal to something. So basically, what are you doing? You are just leaving the P alone. So, first of all, what I would do is basically anything that is next to P, I'm just going to try to get rid of it. So what do? Multiply this thing by this exact same thing. So, man, I don't want to write all this, but I'll just do it. So, you guys really shouldn't be writing all this. When you kind of see what is obvious, you just go ahead and go to the choices and just circle whatever seems the right answer. But basically, you would be multiplying by this fraction, whatever the hell those variables means. I don't really give a because honestly, as long as they get canceled like this, that's what I want. So obviously you got to do the same thing on both sides. And let me just say, I don't know, let me just say this. How about like I just say that's a smiley face, and then I don't know, man, that's a sad face, and then call that a different color. Call that a star. Yeah, so basically I'll multiply by star, and then a freaking sad face over here, and then freaking smiley face over here. Yeah, so I'm just multiplying by that. So I better see all this next to M. So that doesn't look like it. That definitely looks like it. What the hell are these two? There it is, choice B. So once again, don't read these wordings. Who cares what those variables stand for? It really doesn't matter for you to do the problem. Next, number 8. If A over B is 2, what is the value of 4B over A? So this is how you typically do it. First of all, this is how you guys all learned it in algebra class. Multiply by B on both sides, so A is equal to 2B. What do? Put that shizzle where this A is, because that's basically what this A is. So 4B over 2B, cancel the B, cancel by 2's, and there you go, 2 is the answer. Now, if any of you ever blacks out on the day of the test and you're just like, man, I forgot how to, I swear this is easy, but I just don't know how to do it. Here's how you do it. Just literally plug in any number. So I'm just gonna say, I don't know, man, like I'll just say B is 2. Then call, well, A has to be a 4, right? In order to equal 2. So just put that 4 right there. What did that do then? Well, A is 4, B is 2. That's what we established. Well, put them back in here too then. Oh, whoops. Well, that would be here and that would be here. But whatever. So 4 times B was at 2. A was at 4. Get rid of this. We got 2 left. Either way, whatever you want to do. If you black out, just plug in a number. Number 9. What is the solution XY to systems of equations above? So first of all, I mean, you can work however you want, but let me just give you guys some idea. I mean, God knows what the answer is, but take a look at the answer choices. Do you see how all the X's are different? And you see how all the Y's are different, but these two are the same. You see that? See, that's the problem. I mean, God knows what the answer is going to be, but in case you solve for Y and it comes out to be -6, then man, you gotta do it again to figure out whether the choice is in between C and D. Like, which one's the answer? You gotta solve for the X again. But imagine you just solve for X to begin with. You notice how they're all different, so you wouldn't have to solve for what the Y is. So what I'm gonna do is I will try to cancel the Y and solve for the X, so I don't have to double do the work if I had a choice to do so. So first of all, carry down this equation as is. 3x plus 4y is equal to -23. And next one, let me just kind of rearrange these because these bastards put it like this. So let me just say like -x plus 2y is equal to -19. It's literally the same thing. I just flipped the x and y. So once again, I want to cancel the y. So I will multiply this thing by -2, because then, once again, carry this down. 3x plus 4y is equal to -23. Just merely copying it. And the new one's going to be positive 2x minus 4y. Don't mess up the signs. That'll be positive 38. And just cancel that. That'll give you 5x is equal to 15. So divided by 5 on both sides. Boom, boom. And x is equal to 3. And there it is. Okay, so once again, if you guys solve for the y first, I don't think it would have mattered in this particular case just because B is the answer. But in case it came down to C and D, you would have had to do it again to figure out what the x is. Ain't nobody want to do that. Alright, number 10. For the function g defined above, a is constant. Cool story, bro. It's like iPhone manual. You buy your iPhone, you freaking open up the box. Does any of you actually read that manual? No, ain't nobody reading that because y'all know how to turn on your iPhone. So don't read that. So g of 4 is 8. Cut. So what I'm going to do is this. Just follow it. I guess the x is 4. So wherever you see the x's, like right there, just put the 4 in there. So g of 4 is equal to a times 4 squared plus 24. So 8 is equal to 16a plus 24. I can solve the a. Subtract 24 on both sides. Negative 16 is equal to 16a. Divide by 16 on both sides. Boom, 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 boom. A is equal to negative 1. Now what the hell do I do with this? Let's see. What is the value of g of negative 4? So same thing. Once again, negative 4, just put negative 4 where the x is. So g of negative 4 would be a, which I know it's negative 1. I got it from here. Negative 1. And then the x is negative 4 in this case. And plus 24. And that'll be PEMDAS, my friends. Do it in order. Got to do the exponents first. So that's times 16 plus 24. So basically negative 16 plus 24, which is 8. So the answer is 8. And I hope everybody is at least caught that idea of, wait, that's an 8, but so is this. So what the f, like the answer is the same. Well, yeah, because let me give it to you both algebraically and graphically. Let's think about it this way. First thing first, just think about it. Whether that x right there is a 4 versus negative 4, my question to you is, does that even freaking matter? No, it shouldn't, because what are we doing with the x? We're squaring this garbage, which means 4 square or negative 4 square, whatever the hell that is, it's 16 and 16. It does not make a difference. AKA, whether that x is 4 or negative 4, it should not make a difference. That's how you think about it algebraically. Think about it graphically. That shape is a parabola. Well, depending on what the a is, which in this case we know a is negative. So the parabola would look something like this. Now just think about it this way. Imagine this is on a graphing coordinate. Whatever the hell the value of the y it may be at 4, let's say like right there. Well, at negative 4 right there, because this parabola is a perfectly symmetrical shape, whatever the hell the y value is, it better be the same whether the x is 4 or negative 4, because it's perfectly symmetrical. So if, well, I mean, I drew it over here, but really it must be up there at 8. So let me just kind of like rearrange that. So maybe put it like, I don't know, somewhere right there. Yeah, so yeah, that would be, if that's an 8 right there, well, that better be 8 right there too for the y values. So however you want to think about it, but you really shouldn't have to do all these work. I only did it just to show you that you shouldn't be doing it. But obviously, if you didn't see that, it's totally fine. It doesn't take that long. It's just annoying. All right, number 11. In the equation above, B and C represents the price and blah, blah, blah. Who cares? B, beef, C, chicken. Get rid of the rest. Respectively, X weeks. Blah, 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 blah. Who cares? What was the price per pound of beef? Cut. So these are my beef. When it was equal to the price per pound of chicken. So beef was, just read this. Beef was equal to chicken. So what do? Beef and chicken, set them equal. AKA B is equal to C. AKA 2.35 plus 0.25x is equal to 1.75 plus 0.40x. Go ahead and subtract the like terms on both sides, 0.25x. Now, some of you might be wondering how I'm subtracting these. Basically, I'm subtracting in a way that I wouldn't get any negatives. I hate working with negatives. So, subtract 1.75 on both sides over here too. So this way, as you can see, that goes away, that goes away. So this is going to give you 0.60x is equal to 0.60 is equal to 0.15x. So ain't nobody like decimal. Just move 2, whoop, whoop, and move, whoop, whoop. So that's 15x is equal to 60. So go ahead and divide by 15 on both sides. Boom, 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 boom. X is equal to 4. So where the hell's my 4? Where's my answer? That's not your answer, because remember, X is the weeks. They asked him for the price of beef. So what do we do with this little X then? Plug this shizzle back into over here where the beef is. So X is 4 now. So that thing will become 2.35 plus, hey, 4 of the quarters. I hope everybody knows it's just $1. So that must be 3.35. The answer is D. Moving on. Number 12. A line in the XY plane passes through the point origin. Cut. So stop reading. It passes through this origin. So right there, that's one of the point. And has a slope of 1/7. If everybody remembers, slope is rise over run. So what I'm going to do is rise 1. So like right there. And run. I mean, I don't want to do all these little things. Just say like, oh no, like that's 7. Okay, cool. So like right there. So line looks something like this. It's held flat. Okay, which of the following points lies on the line? Well, let's see. 0, 7. Well, let's go one at a time. 0, 7. That would be like freaking over there. Man, hell no, dude. 1 and 7. That's like over there. Hell no. 7 and 7. That's like over there. Hell no. 14 and 2. I don't know. That's like that would be all the way over there. But like somewhere like a 14 and then like 2. Yeah, that seems kind of reasonable. Good to go. Or how about this? Rise over run is y over x. So every time y is 1, x is 7. Which means every time y is 2, x must be 14. Just like how over here times 2, over here times 2. Does that make sense? And that's what you're looking at over here, right? X 14 and y 2. But I mean, it's flat. X should be bigger. So D is the only choice that has anything that is x bigger than the y. Alright, moving on. Number 13. If x is greater than 3, which of the following is equivalent to this? Okay, so first of all, that's a fraction over fraction. Ain't nobody like that. So what do? Well, clearly looking at the answer choices, we gotta get rid of that fraction over fraction garbage. If you guys remember what I said about this question number 8, if you're just stuck, just freaking plug in some random ass number, you can do the exact same on number 13 as well. So first of all, let me show you how to do it actual algebraically. Once again, we want to get rid of fraction over fraction. So if you guys really think about it, I mean, based on this big ass fraction right here, the problem is on the bottom. We need to get rid of those stupid fractions on the denominator of this big fraction. So what I'm going to do is I will multiply by x plus 2 and x plus 3 on top and bottom. Why? Because then, check this out, that would get rid of this and that'll become x plus 3. And that will get rid of these two, so that'll become x plus 2, if you guys are following this. So that's what's going to be on the bottom. And then on the top, it's just this times this. So it's just going to be, well, let's FOIL this. That'll be x squared plus 5x plus 6. So ultimately, that'll be x squared plus 5x plus 6 all over 2x plus 5, which matches this. So that's how you actually algebraically do it. Imagine you're like, I don't remember that. It's okay. Like I said, you can just go back and, do what I said about the other problem. Just plug some random ass number. Now, check this out. They said x is greater than 3. So you might be thinking, oh, like I need to plug in at least 4 above. And hell no, man. I'm just going to plug in 2. Unless plugging in a 2 actually causes me a problem. Like, I get a freaking undefined fraction or something like that. Unless that's the case, I'm just going to ignore it. Like I said, it's just an iPhone manual. Ain't nobody interested in reading that. So, here we go. I'm going to plug in x is equal to 2. So, check this out. Plug it in here. Then that thing becomes 1 over 1/4 plus 1/5. Well, in order to add the bottom common denominator, 5 over 5, 4 over 4. So, that will lead me to 1 over 5 plus 5 over 20 plus 4 over 20. So, that's basically 1 over 9 over 20. Which is 1 divided by 9 over 20. Skip, change, flip. Skip, change, flip. So that must be 20 over 9. So what do? Plug that 2 back into the answer choices for x and see whichever one gives you a 20 over 9. If you take a look, these are not even fractions, so get them out of the way. And we know B is the answer, so let's just double check on B. So if you plug in 2's for all the x's, check it out. That becomes 4 plus 10 plus 6 all over 4 plus 5, which indeed gives you 20 over freaking 9. And that totally matches what I got here. So once again, if you black out, you have no idea. Just plug in a number. Here we go. Number 14. This is a little bit of a difficult problem. So if you got this wrong, I think it's, forgivable for now. So if 3x minus y is 12, what is the value of 8 to the x power over 2 to the y power? Well, here's the thing. If you guys really think about it, 7 to the 5th over 7 squared, well, that's just 7 cubed. How the hell did I do that? Because, well, it's 5 of the 7s on top and 2 of the 7s on bottom. So when those 2 cancel, well, you got 3 of the 7s left, so 7 to the 3rd power. Or some of you just remember as, oh, when the base is the same or the coefficient's the same, then what do? You just freaking subtract the exponents. However you remember it. See, that's easy. But if you guys look at this little garbage, the problem is, well, yeah, for this one, yeah, they're both 7. That's why I was able to do it. This one, I can't do it because it's 8 and a 2. So basically the main thing you have to do right now is to make them somehow the same. So the trick here is this. The 8, you want to turn it into something of a 2. What do I mean by that? Well, think about it. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So I can rewrite that 8 as 2 to the 3rd power. So what the hell do I do with this? Well, check this out. 8 is 2 cubed. So that 8, I'm going to replace it with 2 cubed. Keep the same thing. Keep the rest of the things the same in that fraction. So it becomes something like this. And if you guys remember, we multiply that exponent. So that becomes 2 to the 3x over 2 to the y. And just like how, going back to that example of just like how you guys subtracted the 2 exponents here, I'm going to do the exact same. 2 to the, subtract these two. 3x minus y. And you're like, oh man, I swear to God, I've seen that somewhere before. Of course, because it's right there. 3x minus y is 12. So this thing is just 2 to the 12th power. Boom shaka, that's it. Alright, moving on. Number 15. If ax plus 2, bx plus 7, it leaves you this. Okay, well, I guess that shizzle came from these two. So I'm thinking, I don't know, a and b like 3 and 5, 5 and 3, 1 and 15, 15 and 1, I don't know, 3 and 4, all values of x. Okay, iPhone manual, get rid out of the way. Can't cover 14. Alright, and a plus b is 8. Okay, so that confirms my theory that it's probably 3, 5 or 5, 3. Okay, what are the two possible values of c? Well, why is it 5, 3, by the way? It's because they should multiply it to 15. So, I'm just going to say 5 and 3. Who cares? If I don't get an answer, I'll just change to 3, 5. Who cares? So, let's try foiling this. That'll be 15x squared plus 35x plus 6x plus 14. So at the end of the day, this is going to be 15x squared plus 41x plus 14. We want the value of c. C's right there, the guy next to x. In this case is 41. Do I see that in the answer choices? I only see in D, so circle it and move on. And some of you might go, oh, shouldn't I check the other one? Like flip it, so like not 5, 3, but 3, 5, just to double check. No, hell no, don't do it. You got the answer 41. D is the only thing that has 41. Enough is enough. We done with this problem. Just move on. It's okay. How would you get 31? Probably when you flip the 5 and 3. But who cares? Don't do it. Number 16. T squared minus, once again, don't forget that. T squared minus 4 is 0. So add 4 on both sides. Boom. T squared is equal to 4. Square root both sides. And I swear to God, everybody better remember T is equal to not 2. It is not 2. Wait, what? Square root of 4. Isn't that just a 2? No. When you take a square root, plus or minus 2. But as you guys should be aware for the section 3 free response section, you bubble it in like this, and you notice ain't no way that you can bubble in a negative answer in this section. So yeah, I mean, you know, the instruction tells you that T is positive, you know, so... But you really shouldn't have to know that because you can't even freaking bubble in a negative answer. So 2 versus negative 2, this guy can't be the answer. The 2 is the answer. So, but then I'm just going to point it out, and I will keep pointing it out. This plus or minus, I cannot possibly emphasize enough how important that plus or minus is. Trust me, I used to freaking hate it when my algebra teacher told me to do it. But hey, SAT harasses you. So what can I do? Number 17, here we go. A summer camp counselor wants to find out a length x in feet across, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Don't read it. The lengths represented by AB, EB, BD, and CD on the sketch were determined to be those. Okay, so let's go one at a time. AB, 1800. Cut, stop. So, AB, 1800. So, and then EB, 1400. Cut. So, EB, 1400. And BD, 700. So, BD, 700. And CD 800, so cut CD 800. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I see it all up there. What is a measure of X? Well, check this out. Do you guys already see the relationship between any of these numbers? The most obvious one I hope everybody caught is just 700 and 1400. Just basically think of it as this small ass triangle. and that big ass triangle. How big is the bigger one? Probably times 2. How the hell would I know that? Well, cuz, take a look. 700 to 1400. Doesn't that look like times 2? So, we want this. Wouldn't that be double this? So, just times 2. Boom, and that's 1600. Easy. Moving on. Number 18. According to Simpson's equation above, what is the value of x? So, I want the x. I want to cancel the y. Grab the top one and multiply by -2. Why the hell would you do that? Because then you get -2x minus 2y is equal to 18. So that would cancel. So -x, by the way, I'm adding these two. -x is equal to -7. So go ahead and divide by -1 on both sides, and boom, boom. X is equal to 7. Dunzo. Next, number 19. In a right triangle, freaking everybody stop. In a right triangle, so freaking draw your right triangle. One angle measures x. Cut. So just draw an x. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. X. Where sine of x is 4/5. Cut. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite 4 over hypotenuse 5. This I hope everybody knows. 3, 4, 5 triangle. Yo, look at my triangle. It hell doesn't look like 3, 4, 5 triangle because that looks longer. Who cares? It doesn't matter. What is cosine of 90 minus x? Well, here's the problem. I know what the cosine is. It's just adjacent over hypotenuse. But the question is, the hell's 90 minus x? That's the problem. Because that's what people don't understand. What the hell is this 90 minus x? Just think about it. 90 degrees minus x. Well, this triangle right here, this little triangle, that adds up to 180 degrees. Of which, check this out. This takes up 90, so subtract that 90. So you got 90 degrees left for this guy and this guy. So let me just call this guy like y, because then check this out. X plus y better be 90. Them together must be 90. So let me just take this away for the next question. So what the hell's 90 minus x? Well, let's try making it. Subtract x on both sides. Boom, there you go. 90 minus x is the y, aka this little question is just basically asking what is the cosine y. So what do? Just go to y and do adjacent over hypotenuse 5. 4 over 5 it is your answer. That's how it is. 4 over 5. All right, moving on. Number 20. If a is that and 2a is this, what is the value of x? Well, just put that where the a is. So 2 times 5 rad 2 is equal to radical 2x. So that's 10 radical 2 is equal to radical 2x. Go ahead and square both sides. Boom, square both sides. And that's just 2x here. But when you guys do this, make sure you don't forget you got to square this guy separately. So 10 square 100. And this guy, which is going to be a 2. Alright, so we want the value of x. Just freaking divide by 2 on both sides. Boom, boom. And x is just 100. Done with section 3.